Q95 from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Health vibes, education, information, and a bit of humor. And not forgetting lots of vibes. Hosted by Carlton Lango with co-hosts Jacinta Fagan Depot and Trudy Kristen. Jolly's Pharmacy is bringing health and vibes together every Wednesday, so be sure to tune in. Health Vibes every Wednesday on Q95 from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Jolly's Pharmacy, leading the way in healthcare.
Introducing Jolly's Pharmacy, brand new website, www.jollies.gm. It's your time to jump the line. Shop now at jollies.gm and have your items delivered in the comfort of your office. No more standing in line. No need to use your lunch hour to shop. Hassle-free shopping, safe and secure. Jollies.gm features rush delivery, 1 hour. In-store pickup, regular delivery, 5 p.m. Cut-off time, 4 p.m. It's your time to jump the line. Visit us at www.jollies.gm. Jollies Pharmacy, leading the way in healthcare.
Who say health cannot have vibes? Well, Jolly's Pharmacy is proving you otherwise. With Health Vibes every Wednesday morning on Q95 from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Health Vibes, education, information, and a bit of humor. And not forgetting lots of vibes. Hosted by Carlton Lango with co-hosts Jacinta Fagan Depot and Trudy Kristen. Jolly's Pharmacy is bringing health and vibes together every Wednesday, so be sure to tune in. Health Vibes every Wednesday on Q95 from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Jolly's Pharmacy, leading the way in healthcare.
Introducing Jolly's Pharmacy, brand new website, www.jollies.gm. It's your time to jump the line. Shop now at jollies.gm and have your items delivered in the comfort of your office. No more standing in line. No need to use your lunch hour to shop. Hassle-free shopping, safe and secure. Jollies.gm features rush delivery, 1 hour. In-store pickup, regular delivery, 5 p.m. Cut-off time, 4 p.m. It's your time to jump the line. Visit us at www.jollies.gm. Jollies Pharmacy, leading the way in healthcare.
Who say health cannot have vibes? Well, Jolly's Pharmacy is proving you otherwise. With Health Vibes every Wednesday morning on Q95 from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Health Vibes, education, information, and a bit of humor. And not forgetting lots of vibes. Hosted by Carlton Lango with co-hosts Jacinta Fagan Depot and Trudy Kristen. Jolly's Pharmacy is bringing health and vibes together every Wednesday, so be sure to tune in. Health Vibes every Wednesday on Q95 from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Jolly's Pharmacy, leading the way in healthcare. Who say health cannot have vibes? Well, Jolly's Pharmacy is proving you otherwise. With Health Vibes every Wednesday morning on Q95.
A pleasant good morning to you. Good morning. I know that many of you are still struggling to get out from bed or even to get to the office after such a festive Christmas season where you had all of the delicious dishes and meals for maybe 2, maybe 3, and even 4 days. And some of you might be cleaning the house even at this time because there were many family and friends who came over. And you might be mopping, you might be washing, doing laundry. I'm not too sure about my other co-hostesses, but if you drive around, almost all garbage skip are totally filled to capacity. So it would mean that there were many preparations that were done for the Christmas season. I do hope that you had an awesome time with your family and your friends, and that you did not have a hangover. You did not have a hangover, or you did not have any type of gastric problems, or you were vomiting or diarrhea or anything like that, and you're feeling sick. And I do hope that you took the opportunity to be wise, control your blood glucose levels and also your blood pressure as well. Because guess what? A little birdie said to me that some of you stop taking your medication a few days before Christmas. You put that on hold. You say, you know what? Boy, I myself I have to die. That I cannot not take my whiskey or my brandy and put that on hold for a time. Anyway, we'll forgive you this time. Trudy, good morning. Jacinta, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you guys and to all listening.
None of you all are
audience.
guilty of that, right?
No.
No. Carlton, good morning to you. I like how you started off. I suspect you have made a few people feel a little guilty, but it's all good. It's all in the spirit of being a very conscientious pharmacist, which you are. So you know already. Jacinta knows as well. I can see her nodding. I am not in the profession, so I know that you all have the experience. But good morning to all our listeners, and of course, I hope that Carlton, as you said, everybody did have a festive season. It was a lot of work for me in particular. I have said to myself, I am retiring. I used to call myself at this time of year Betisha Crocker because of the amount of cooking I would do. But I feel like I'm too old for this. This is my final year of Christmas cooking. From next year, somebody has to cook for me. I'm done. It's a wrap.
It can be quite a lot of work, but I think it's the first time I've been on air for the season. So I want to wish our listeners, season's greetings. All the best for the new year. I'm not sure if I'll be on next week, God spare. But certainly today, around this time, it's cleaning, it's decorating, rearranging, large amounts of food and whatnot. So I myself said, you know what, this year I'm taking it very easy. It's not many of us at home. So I didn't do as many dishes as normal. So yes, I agree.
Well, Jacinta, I saw something on Facebook, but I can met VE. Every level west side, I don't know if you speak in Creole, I'm going to try to say a little Creole this one. Level west side. When the Makali wall house,
Castle Comfort.
I can't come what? My kind knock door after door after door until I see, because the kind of food I see, my stomach does the brock immediately. When I saw through the dishes,
Oh, Papa, sell out.
boy, and some of those things I really like them because I am a sucker for baked foods. I have to stay away from it, but it's boy around that time. It's tough, especially scalloped potatoes and shepherd pie.
You like those things.
And rice pie. Oof. I love them.
But I want to just tell our listening audience, last week on our show, we did a lot of reminiscing and we also shared recipes of, Christmas dishes. And I want to tell the listeners that Carlton Langdo, the same Carlton that is grudging my setup, he shared a recipe with me for turkey, how he prepares his turkey. And I tried it this year. And it was excellent advice. Nice. So I want to share. I want to share with our listeners that Carlton was the inspiration behind one of the Christmas dishes that he saw. So he has to take a little credit for that.
I take a bow. So it is our last show with you in 2023. I believe that 2023 was an awesome year for Health Vibes. I believe that we truly brought some amazing topics to the fold. Some may have been sensitive or more sensitive than others. But in all sense, we really did, I personally think we did an awesome job covering health and wellness topics. We covered a lot of topics relating to mental health, environmental health, general health and wellness, occupational health and safety, geriatric care. We even did on spirituality.
Yes.
Spirituality, the role of connecting with, whoever is your higher power and what it does to you in terms of your soul and your spirit. We did a few shows on exercising, on nutrition.
we did a show on in the hormone system. we
Yes,
had
yes.
a lot of
Yes,
doctors come in.
yes.
We had a show on female health,
Mhm.
reproductive health. We even had a show on safety of swimming,
Yes.
in light of drownings that had taken
Mhm,
place.
mhm.
We had a show. So we had a variety of topics
Mhm.
and a variety of guests, a variety of experts. I think if people listen to Health Vibes, they got a good feel of
Mhm.
the expertise that we have
Mhm.
locally as it relates to health and wellness. People will share in freely,
Mhm.
with our audience some of their expertise. So we definitely had a good run in 2023.
I mean, it's always incredible to look back and see the wide range of topics and different areas of wellness. I remember we had someone on based on emergency care.
Yes, we
Yes.
did.
And
Yes.
it's just amazing. But we still want to get feedback from our listening audience as to what they wish for us to discuss the different topics, because it's endless. It's
Mhm,
endless.
mhm,
So
mhm.
we
And
welcome.
what the other thing to Jacinta is that many people, particularly our listeners,
Mhm.
they may not be aware that we learn with them.
Of
Yes.
course,
Because
of
when we do the
course.
research in preparation for the show, we bring experts in. We do not, most of the times we don't write script for the experts. We Many of them they don't even ask us like what questions are you all going to
Mhm.
ask of me and so forth. So we ask them on the spur of the moment, and we learn as well.
Yes.
Sometimes some of the information that is disseminated is quite bewildering. We're quite shocked to like, wow, I didn't know that. So we're not purporting to know everything. And just as you are at your home or in the office or on a bus listening to us, the very same way we learn just as you learn. And so today is your day to actually grade us. We want you to call us. It's going to be very interactive. We want you to call us and give us your own grade for Health Vibes. I would hope that somebody would nominate us for Best Health Talk Show for the year, because I know that there are other health talk shows on the island, but I do hope that somebody would grade Health Vibes as the best one for 2023. But we're going to give you the numbers where you will be able to interact with us, call us, and at the same time, we solicit your indulgement in terms of giving us new ideas or topics that you may want us to cover. I already have two in my own bag that I have looked at the year 2023 and maybe felt that we didn't cover enough on that, and that is disabilities. And different types of disabilities, or people that are battling or dealing with disabilities, or they may have been born with a disability, or something in life gave them a disability. That is something that definitely an area we really want to focus on next year, and to include learning disabilities, this dyslexia, which is becoming a big thing. I know we had done a show with
Yes,
Dr.
Dr. Shani Shillingford,
Shani
yes.
Shillingford.
I don't know if it's 2022,
I think it was
maybe.
2022.
Yeah.
Yes, but again,
Not
to
this year.
revisit these types of topics, and even dementia, Alzheimer's. I know we've done, but I know, for example, the managing director of FACS, she's very passionate on
Mary.
that aspect, dementia and Alzheimer's. Maybe have her on sometime in the new year to be a guest. So these are some of the ideas already. We are here and we're already thinking of ideas or topics that we would want to introduce in 2024. So the numbers are 4493095, 4493096, 4493097, 6164257. And of course, if you are a listener from out of Dominica, you can always give us a call too. And that number is 305 432 9624. And we already have a caller. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, season's greetings to you all.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
too.
ma'am. Thank
Now
you.
I'm a constant listener to Health Vibes. I want to thank Jolie and staff for the excellent service, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And those excellent topics we had there for the year. I learned a lot. Most times I have my book, I have two books there, and I have
Wow.
Jolie's Pharmacy the subject.
Wow.
And every sometime I want to learn something, I forget. I run into those books
Oh,
there
nice.
and I checking it out, right?
Wow.
And my favorite, I love Stella. My favorite, Stella and Gemma. As for Stella, I love her. And I just want to tell you all, keep on the good works in the new year because you're doing a wonderful job. So happy New Year
Thank you
and
so
thank you
much.
for everything.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
you.
We
Thank
appreciate you
you.
too. Thank you for loving the team of Jollies and for always supporting Jollies team.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
And I
Thank you.
remember this caller because I
Yes.
remember last year when we had the show, she told us about her book.
Yes.
And for 2023, she seems to have kept that book and even increased
Increase the
on
number.
on the topics and the
Yes.
notes in the book. So we appreciate you, caller, and that is a very good very good feedback for
And
us.
that's a very nice call for the first one for the morning. It's already congratulating us. Again, the numbers are 4493095, 4493096, 4493097, 6164257. And if you want to call from overseas, you're welcome to do so. For 305, the number is 305 432 9624. These are the numbers. And I want to call a few names this morning. Mrs. John, Patrick John's wife. I've not seen Desiree in a long, long time. Good morning to you, Mrs. John. It's a good friend of mine. I just have not seen her in a long time, but I want to say good morning to you. Yes, let's take this caller. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, season greeting, Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. To you too.
Are you trying to talk Patois, Papa?
I'm trying to think.
You have to say, Mon Koyle, tout la porte.
That's true. This sounds like my friend at Do It Center.
I don't do it again.
Tuna, oh, wow. Okay.
You say Belfast.
Yes.
I say, I know con older, you have to say, and take care of yourself.
Okay.
And you remember we had a topic a long time talking about what we can do in local for changes and back pain, knee pain, and so.
Mm-hmm.
So even based on that topic again.
So maybe you can do a show on pain management.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Yes.
have a good day.
Thank you very
Enjoy
much.
the rest of holiday, and I hope to hear from all you 2024.
I
you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
All the best.
Thank
You know,
you.
Jolly is the number one. So pharmacy.
Of course.
Thank you.
And what you don't see, you have them for, you must get it.
Yes.
So guys, don't take care.
I appreciate you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome, my
Have a
dear.
good
I
day.
appreciate you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, we have another caller. Good morning to you, caller. We may have missed you. Feel free to call back. The number is 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. Let's take this caller. Good morning to you, caller.
Hi, Carlton and the team. Good morning.
Good morning to
morning,
you.
good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
actually in my propagating my season. I'm listening to you guys on my neighbor's radio, and I had to call even though my hand is a bit dirty.
Oh, wow. We appreciate that.
I want to congratulate you all for a job well done,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
and especially when it comes to you addressing that biting midge. I usually tell all my friends the only person who addressed this was a pharmacist that we have, and thank God for him.
Thank
Because
you.
I've never heard the ministry address that biting midge issue. So I thank you all for the work that you do. Of course, your programs are very informative. I learn a lot. I'm not sure if you all have it online, because I know with through this private program, one of the things that I do is I usually just go back on her Facebook and scroll through because, sometimes you miss programs, at the time you're working or you're busy, at the time you're on the radio. So if you all don't save those programs on the internet, and that is one thing I would suggest for the new year.
Well, it is live. It is on QFM Facebook page, so you can find all our programs there. Also, we're live. You can view us live. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Thank
So
you.
that's good. So I like that because then a lot of times, when I have my leisure, my spare time, I just go back and look at past lives.
Right.
So thank you for that. And again, thank you for the work that you guys do.
Thank you so much to
Thank
you
you.
too. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All the best for the new year.
Same to you.
Take care.
Thank
Yes,
you.
bye-bye.
I see we have another caller. Good morning. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling. Good morning, caller.
No.
Okay, we have another caller. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Mr. Carlton.
Good morning to you, Sue. And how are you doing today?
I'm not doing too bad. Good morning to your co-host.
Good
to
morning.
you.
Well, Mr. Carlton, you are doing this first line on the radio. I don't know the ladies, but
Well, you need to come and see them because you might fall in love again.
they are beautiful people by their
Very
own
beautiful, beautiful at face, beautiful at heart.
side. Yes, and I what I wish in this new year coming in God will give us life and strength and health is more education.
More education.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
I do happy about you because you hide my brother in Portsmouth.
I
Make it a little difficult for me to get in touch with him.
I hide your brother in Portsmouth.
Help.
Yes.
I helped your brother.
That is Edgar.
Okay. All right. All right.
Hi.
Oh, Edgar, I hide. I understand. we sent one of the best to Portsmouth, and they're boasting.
Yes, but you have to do what you have to do. He has to do what he has to do.
That's it.
That's lovely people. I love Jolly. Trust me.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, sir.
And,
Happy New Year to you when it comes.
If things are going too well, I would call him and he would give me advice.
You can still call him in Portsmouth. You just call Jolly's pharmacy and tell him to transfer you to Portsmouth. That's it.
Oh, okay. But
Yes.
difficult to get him on his private phone.
Yeah, just call 448-348 and tell him to transfer you to the Portsmouth pharmacy, and they'll transfer you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Have a good morning.
Continue doing the good work.
I
and
appreciate
we
it.
are listening.
Thank you very much. Yes. Good morning to you. Thanks for calling, caller. Good morning, caller. Good morning. We may have missed you. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing today?
I am fine. Just relaxing until next week. Enjoy my holiday. I want to say congratulations to the fine lady, Miss Trudy Christian. That is Teacher Lufa. Congratulations on your acting appointment to the college.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Give you your flowers while you're alive.
Yes.
Definitely.
Thank you, teacher.
Now, Carlton,
Yes, sir.
I want to congratulate you, Trudy, and what's the other lady name again?
Jennifer.
Okay, for having a wonderful program every Wednesday,
Thank you.
right on Q95 on health. No one Carlton every year you winning.
Excuse
You're a
me?
winner. You should be more listening. I'm just joking. But the program is very interesting, especially where our health is concerned. And I hope people of my age group would be listening, especially the elderly people. When I say the elderly people in their 60s and so on. Because Carlton, I myself, as you know, I'm suffering from arthritis. And I've followed your program. I've done certain things that you say, and I'm do getting some relief. Praise God. So the program is really very helpful to us, especially the elderly. I'm speaking on behalf of the elderly, because some of them are bedridden, they can't talk. And I wish you all the best for the rest of the season, and continue, Mr. Carlton and Trudy and the others, to do the good work in 2024. Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank
And
you.
to you too.
Thank you. Yes, Carlton, and we do have a lot of listeners
Yes,
or
I see
who are
that.
yes, and our listen as Teacher Lufa said, we do have a lot of elderly people listening to the program, and I believe they do benefit a lot. Yeah.
We have another caller. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling. Happy New Year to you when it comes.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you,
Happy
ma'am.
holidays to you.
Thank
To you
you.
all. I'm in St. Martin right now, Colin.
Oh, wow.
I came to Dominica. For July on vacation, and I went to the pharmacy and I bought a stock for diabetic. I'm a diabetic, and my foot used to get swollen so much especially like when I do a double shift at work.
Yes.
And then from the time I bought that stock, I started weighing it. My foot never got swollen again.
Wow.
And I was so happy. And I have to tell my niece to go by Jolly's by the pharmacy and buy me that stuff. Right now, I only find one side of the socks. I don't know where the socks gone, and I need it and I want it and I don't want to do without it.
Well, I'm glad that
I just thought of when
I'm glad that you were satisfied with the product and that you've gotten the benefits of the product. Once you know the name of it and your family can always come, I'm sure that we have in stock.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's on the black socks that is roll up. Have some red writing under the foot.
Yes.
I'd get it close to the counter, not where they cash in. The counter inside.
Yes.
Somewhere they can hang. So I bought it before I got it from there.
Yes.
so thank you for good products. Thank you.
You're welcome, miss. Happy New Year to you when it comes. Yes. So the calls are coming in.
And also there's the online
online
as well. Yes. So if
if
people are overseas.
Right, so we have that option, and of course, it's just to select, put in your cart like a regular shopping site, and then there is someone who's able to chat with you on that site as well. And if you need to call in to clarify, verify, we have that service available as well.
So you only just need to just go on to jollys.dm, JOLLYS.dm. Jollys.dm. The days when you start to put www, people hardly do that. You just put jollys.dm and bam, you get it.
But also, Carson, as we're talking about the site, many people are not aware that they could actually sign up for their Jolly's card through that site.
Yes.
So that's another outlet as well.
Yes. Let's take this caller. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Hi. Compliments of the season.
To you too. Thank you so much.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, my friend. How are you? Good morning.
I'm not a regular caller, but Carlton.
Well, I hope we can correct that in 2024 on my show, just for my show.
And I listen to.
All right.
Okay, you know that.
I know that.
But I have to compliment you how you're doing a very, very, very good job.
Thank you, my dear.
And as I've told you in person, if I'll just send you for your doctorate.
Yes, you always say that to me. You and there's a lady in Masak who does the same too.
For the year you do it with so much compassion.
Thank you.
Okay, you do it, and I'm happy with you.
Thank you.
Okay, you know, anything you recommend, I'm good. I came in to see you already, you know, this morning.
Oh.
But they told me you're on.
Yes.
I take you about 12 foot.
Yes.
Okay.
No problem,
But
darling.
other than that, everything is good. I wish you and your family a happy New Year, a courageous. You like to use that word, courageous.
Yes.
Courageous New Year for
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
And I will see you about 12 feet.
No problem at all.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, madam.
Okay, darling.
All
Love. And I still want to congratulate you. I'm Judy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
And
darling.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
for
you.
you.
Same to you as
Okay,
well,
and
darling.
Trudeau, I know you'll do your best.
Yes.
I give it your best.
Definitely.
Trudy, for the New Year.
I'll try.
Okay, darling.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll see you all later.
Bye-bye. Okay, darling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. I see we have another caller. Let's take this one. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Good morning to you, Carlton, and your co-host.
Good morning to you, miss. Good morning.
For next year, I would really like you all to talk more about mental health because this topic is very dear to my heart.
Yes.
Because I had a nebulous after with mental health. And I only call your program when you have the topic. I always listen, but I only call the program when you have the topic. Yeah, so I would really like to hear more about that, especially depression, because some people think like when they're depressed, it's like just a regular thing, but depression can get into like more, can really make you mental. Sometimes that's how it starts. I would really like you all to stress about that topic. It's really good.
Thank you so much, and yes, we will definitely do that. We will do that. We have an excellent relationship with the resident psychiatrist on Island, and she's always willing. That's one thing about her. Once she has the time, she's always willing to be a guest on our program. So thank you for the suggestion. But I do have a few suggestions here already, Trudy, that I'm thinking about. So someone mentioned pain management. We spoke about learning disabilities, environmental health, animal health, to do a little more on veterinarian topics. As you know, we are pet lovers, and there are diseases that pets can actually have and that can affect us.
Crossover, yeah.
Right. Chronic leg ulcers, that's another situation, that's another condition that's quite prevalent, particularly among the elderly. And sometimes it's very difficult for them to even manage, the complications. So we want to maybe focus on that. I know Dr. Laura Esprit.
Yeah, and we've tried though.
Yes.
But we will try again in 2024
Yes.
to get particularly that is her
passion.
area. Yes, to get her on. We tried, but she had some scheduling
Yes.
conflicts.
Yes.
But we'll try again. We'll try again.
And someone just mentioned mental health, particularly depression, bipolar 1 and 2, and so forth. So these are some of the topics that we're looking at.
Right.
I still think we need to do, again, that's where maybe we'll try to really get a nutritionist on to, again, help our public to understand the interpretation of food labels and food portions, that type of thing. And so maybe that's an area too that many people still don't understand how to read a food label. What does a serving says? You see 2 grams per serving, but then you see the content says 4 servings. And how do you interpret that information to make sense of what is being said? So that is an area too that we recognize that there needs to be a bit more awareness and sensitization on, and so we'll look at that.
Some of these topics are always worthy of repeat because we have had, we have had that covered, but sometimes people miss the show or people, weren't listening, and so it's always these type of topics are always worthy of consistent reinforcement. Mental health as well. I have noticed. I mean, we've done quite a few shows on mental health, on depression, the different mental health disorders that people can have, anxiety, etc. And there is still so much stigma associated with, mental health that sometimes even having the topic on the show, some people are kind of, afraid of saying, well, this person or I suffered from this, or there's still so much, that people want to hide as it relates to mental health disorders, which means that the stigma surrounding it is still too high. So we need to consistently speak about these, these issues. So even if we've done it before, 2024, we'll do it again.
and Trudy, I really like that point that you've raised, because both you and I, in particular, have disclosed some of our own medical challenges that we've had. And one of the things that we've tried to do is not make it seem that we are just the message carrier, but we are human beings and we wanted to identify. And if it means that we have to be advocates, as I've always shared my own experience, and I did so just about 3 weeks ago, talking about depression and how I had to deal with it when it affected me. You have shared your own experiences.
For therapy,
with therapy. Yes. And so we it's not a matter that we could say, well, what, is not the public's business to know what has happened to us or what we've gone through or what has affected us. But we recognize that we have to stop the stigma. Because if we're afraid to talk about it ourselves, having experienced it, then it means that we're stigmatizing it.
Right, right.
We are innately stigmatizing it. So what we try to do is share our own experience and say, well, listen, I endured this. This is how I conquered it. This is how I dealt with it. Because I always say, can you imagine, it's now 17 years, right? 2020, I was really affected. 2020, 2006, 2006 to 2008. So it's 2 years, and I was told I would never be off medication. But I made it my business to understand the genesis of this and understand how to conquer this. Because what would have happened, and I see it all the time in my practice, where people they get so hooked on these drugs that without these drugs, they get paranoid. They feel like they're going to die because they just believe that the drug is their salvation, and not recognizing that they have the power to heal themselves and to, sometimes it's a matter of a serious modification of everything around you. So let me give you an example. So I ordered a television for Christmas, huge television. So I had two friends came and mount up the TV. Mount up the TV nice. When we mount up the TV, we say the TV got a major dent and a huge crack going from one end to the other end. 75 inches TV. And then the guy who's mounting up telling me, you're so cool. You're not crying. You're not upset. I'm like, no, it's just a material thing. It can't be replaced. I'm not stressing out myself over that. And he tell me, you're serious? I tell him, yes. I tell him it can be replaced. It's not my spine. I not fall. I fall. I slipped on tile and mashed up my spine, and I'm told that I will never be able to walk again. You understand? So these are things that I had to conquer in order to prevent me from getting depressed. Because can you imagine a simple thing like, if you're so sensitive, a simple thing like can trigger depression on you. You understand? So I just sharing that example to say that in life, and I've said that to Trudy and to Jacinta, I came light and I want to live lighter. I am not, I cherish the benefits, the blessings that I have, but I'm not holding them ransom, holding them to the point where I feel like I will never lose them. I'll never be apart from them.
I cannot live without them.
Nah.
But it's I agree with what you're saying, because when we disclose our own experiences, it shows that we are not immune as health professionals. And it makes us relatable to the listening audience as well. Say, oh, I didn't realize that they could get over it, but I probably can too. So it's almost like an inspiration to them as well, and motivation. So I mean, like Alti said, we are human beings. We go through all types of experiences, and we learn, we gain the benefits and expertise of others, and we share that with you.
Right. And I know, Jacinta, you have a very keen interest in counseling.
Right.
You've done quite a number of courses at the University of the West Indies in counseling.
Right.
And so it is an area too that I guess for somebody that would be offering counseling to people and listening to people, situations and issues, even with that, you learn and you recognize how simple it is to try to live a simple life. Because really and truly, the more I've recognized, material things does not make you happy.
No,
it really doesn't. It's convenient to enhance your state of happiness, but it does not. It is not the pillar of your happiness. It really isn't. And the older that I become, the more that I recognize that really and truly, for me, I like positivism. I love positive vibes. I like positive people. I do not have time to be gossiping. Jacinta and I are very close friends. Jacinta can come to any chamber of my house, and I could do the same thing with her. And Jacinta and I and my family, when you just we come to you come to my we just don't pong back.
No.
Like, it's like these are things that we just it's not part of our nature.
Yeah.
We will talk about vibes, we will talk about things, but to say talk or discuss people and
That's
and
true.
it's a part of maturity.
Yeah.
You recognize your circles become smaller.
Mhm.
I can really say, well, I can call Trudy at 1 o'clock in the night, in the morning, and Trudy will not be offended.
Yeah.
Because if I call Trudy at 1 o'clock in the morning, Trudy knows that it's something serious
Yeah.
that's happening.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of relationship
Mhm.
we want to build. Maybe we should do a show on that.
Yeah.
Healthy relationships.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
We'd not be all for that.
Yeah.
You'd not be all for that. But we've covered some, like as
Yes.
you all are speaking, for instance, about loss of material things. We've discussed loss of non-material things as we discussed death and dying on the show, which is another thing that has been brought sharply into focus for me in particular, and particularly during the holiday season. That life is ever changing. Who you have today might not be with you tomorrow, and we have to live in this constant awareness of that ability of life to change and change easily and change quickly, and so we have to be so focused on being in the moment and being appreciative of what it is now, and because it can change. And we also have to be very
and change is constant.
Change is constant. That is the only constant thing, So this Christmas, for instance, and I reflect on it particularly during Christmas. This Christmas is the second Christmas, 2021, third Christmas without my cousin, who used to be a major staple of Christmas for me. Christmas was about us coming together as a family and the cooking, and she was the only one taking selfies with me, and we would make a big deal, we'd exchange gifts. And this is the third Christmas, and it as other people go through loss as well, I constantly remember that life changes all the time. And so we have to be grounded in a way that we can go through change and still survive, still thrive, still live.
Adapt.
Adapt and still live, because we cannot stop living. Now is our life is now. It's not forever. And we have to work through our lives and our changes that happen in our lives. And another reason it came to me, cousin, is when we had the show last week and we spoke about Christmas in the past and how it was. And then no, it's not the same. But are we going to just be sad all the time that it's not the same? Or are we going to work through the changes and find our happiness in a changing situation? And that is something I think, I don't know if it's because it's the end of the year, as I said, the holiday season, but I am very much meditating and thinking about that, the constancy of change and our ability to navigate change successfully and still thrive, still come out of it alive and thriving. And it's a different experience, but we can still gain something from the new experience that we have in our life. And we have focused on death, we've focused on dying, we've focused on the mental challenges that occur with dealing with these sort of things. But that is something I think we need to continuously speak about. Continuously speak about, because people deal with a lot of loss, and not just material things, loss of family, loss of friends, loss of relationships. I remember we had a show about loss of relationships. We spoke about, we call it, the GP, loss of relationships. So loss in general, I think that's worthy of continuous repetition as well, dealing with change, dealing with loss, and navigating through that.
I like that point that you've raised, because it was very difficult for my wife on Christmas Day.
Yes, it would be.
My wife lost her both parents 3 weeks apart from each other.
Yeah.
Both of them were considered healthy people. The father died of a heart attack, and it was almost virtual to us because we were right there watching everything. He just collapsed and died. And 3 weeks after, her mother collapsed and died. Both of them died of heart attacks. And the last year Christmas, he was with us. He spent all of Christmas with us. He left the third week in January to return to Trinidad. And so it was very difficult for my wife this Christmas. Normally we would host. This year we didn't host. So we went to my sister's house, and my wife just couldn't. It took her a while to get out of the vehicle to get to my sister's house. It was quite, she wanted some quiet time. I had to leave her in the vehicle for a while, just sometimes you just need that quiet moment. So I just left her, and when she catch herself a bit, she got there. But so I could identify, can certainly identify with what you're talking about. And we've had so many people lose loved ones this year. And
suddenly
it's suddenly, and it's to see that chair is no longer, that there is this void. Maybe that particular person was the joker,
right?
or
the glue of the family.
The one that would really have the party going.
Yeah.
So I can
and grief is continuous. People,
Yes.
the nicest way I've heard it explained, it's like a water flow, ebbs and flows. So sometimes you have a big wave, and sometimes the water is calm, and then a big wave comes back, and that is how it is. And you have to go through it. And so we really, grief, dealing with loss, dealing with that type of stuff, we need to have these sort of discussions,
Yeah, because even if me, Dad passed away over 10 years, but Christmas time was his time as well.
Yeah.
So certain things I did over the Christmas holidays, I was like, okay, Dad, you would have loved that, or he would have done this,
So always remember.
Yeah, man.
We have a caller?
Yes, let's take this caller. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Yes, Mr. Orlando, that's me again.
Yes, teacher.
I like the discussion, the way the discussion has been followed there. But it is difficult, in life, because one of the things we must remember, I know it is hard. I lost my mother when I was 9. Okay? And Mr. Orlando and Trudy, you know how long it took me to realize I lost my mother? When I was 14 years,
Wow.
Because you know why? Because of the period I was going through, and I used to cry. But when she died at 9, I never cried. So life is as you said, consistent change. There are certain things we have to learn to accept, but we know it's hard. It's very hard. Okay, and I pity with Lando and his wife for that. But we all know that one day we must go. You can't be there forever.
Sure.
But then you have to be prepared for that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I think too, the other part of the discussion too, and it's something that we've raised quite a number of times on this show, is showing gratitude. And gratitude for the simplest of things. Look at where we are in Dominica. We're not in a war zone. I look at footage of what's happening in Palestine, and all these children, no water. Almost all of the critical services are compromised, and they are in shelters, and they have lost a father, a mother, a brother, a sister. Many parents have had to bury their children. And you recognize you are here in Dominica. You have access to the sea without nobody telling you can't go to the sea. You can open up your door and sit with a bowl of food and eat right at your doorway, and not thinking that a sniper is going to just shoot you. You can walk, or you can walk in Roseau and not thinking of, some craziness going to happen. And there's a little thing. Sometimes we really take them for granted, and it's very simple. You can go by the road, and most likely you don't have $1, but somebody may give you a ride to get into town. Somebody would recognize you. Dominica is a small population, and say, where you going? And we'll stop and give you a ride. You might be in New York, and that will never happen. You understand? And sometimes there's little things. I like to think about them because they become big things. And you only recognize how big they are when you reside out of Dominica and you head to the metropolitan countries where you
just a number.
yeah, you go to you board on a train and nobody says good morning. Nobody cares. You understand? You go sometimes even in the office, you walk in and nobody says good morning to you. You know, it's just you're just another employee. Nobody cares. Nobody bother too much, and that kind of a thing. And look at you work in Dominica and you become family to your coworkers and you share a lot. And so showing gratitude and living with gratitude, these are important, and understanding its purpose. And because to me, when I understand the power of gratitude, it teaches me, one, to be content, and two, to live very peaceful. It sort of, it doesn't mean that you will not buy something good, but some way, somehow, what you wear is not merely who you are. It's just an accessory. You see it as an accessory, but inwardly, this is who you are. You understand? If today or tomorrow, Trudy and I get in an argument, and the first thing that comes out from my mouth is profanities, that's who I am. That's actually truly who I am, It just wasn't, I just didn't express it all the time, but this is who I am. But if I can argue with Trudy and never use profanities, never insult her, never tell her personal things that she had mentioned to me, then it shows a different thing. That you can have an argument, but still have respect and dignity and pride. So a lot of the times they tell you, when someone shows you who they are, the first time, believe them. I think it was Maya Angelou that made that statement, and Oprah Winfrey has always believed it, that when someone shows you who they are the very first time, that's who they are, really.
Yeah, I mean, we take a lot of things for granted, and when we lose them, then we remember why we loved them in the first place.
Right.
And as Cousin said, living a simple life full of gratitude, sitting down and listing all your blessings. And I think that's something that many of us, or all of us, should do as the year ends. We start in the new year, list the blessings and all the good that we have encountered for the past year, and set some positive goals or what we can do to bless others for the new year. So it makes us really dig deeper internally. What have we done? What can we do to both be good people inwardly and outwardly to others as well?
There was a piece of advice I gave on this last show of the year of 2022. I did not do it myself. It's something I had read. I wanted to do it, and I didn't do it in 2023. I advised our listeners to do it. I did not do it. In 2024, I want to strive to do it. The advice was you utilize a jar, box, or whatever. And anytime something positive happens in your life, something good, something that you're grateful for, you write it down, you fold the paper, and you put it in that jar. And then on the last day of the year, you open up that box, that jar, whatever it is, and you read the things that happened in the year. Because oftentimes we forget,
It's true.
Oftentimes we forget.
Especially the good.
Yeah, the good. We sit down there, boy, this year was rough, boy. My money was low and I didn't get this and but Jay and that person didn't like me and whatever. And at work, they pressed me. But so many good things happened and we don't remember, because we focused on the bad things. So we say, boy, it was rough. But something good may have, not something, good things happened. But they may have been small. You may have you didn't note them, and so you forget. So it's nice to remind yourself at the end of the year some of the good things that happened.
I like that. Well, let's take this caller. Good morning to you, caller.
Hello, Carlton.
Yes, good morning.
Again, a topic I would like you to discuss.
Yes, ma'am.
The power of prayer. You know why I'm saying that? Probably can't get a religious or whatever to discuss. Sometimes some people pray for things and they don't get it. The time they pray and it begin to affect them mentally, it's some form of a health problem.
Mhm.
Because they begin to do certain things and they pray, they're not getting that, not happening. And you'll be surprised how it affects you mentally. You understand?
Yes.
So I wonder if you all could get somebody to this, so you know a topic, the power of prayer.
Yes.
And they would bring in, all these things because it can really affect you mentally.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Good
you.
topic. Very good
Yes.
topic.
Thank you.
But yeah, I appreciate this topic. It's one that we've definitely written down and we will explore. But truly, I too want to see that for me, and I remember one year, we were at a symposium for managers, and each person had to stand up and say what they're grateful for and so forth. And I remember standing and say that I was quite grateful for the challenges and the difficulties that I endured during my lifetime, because these were the challenges and difficulties that taught me endurance,
That's true.
that taught me patience, that taught me grace, and that taught me as well courage. And I've always said that you cannot have hope without faith, and you cannot have faith without courage. So let me say that again. You cannot have hope without faith, and you cannot have faith without courage. And these three pillars have done a lot for me. I have a capture a caption that I have for years. Strong mind, strong man. And that is something that I put together many years ago in the 90s, late 90s. And it's my own belief that I am more mind than man. And that my mind is my emotions, my mind is what makes me more than the physical. And so I've always seen myself as an extremely strong-minded person. Extremely strong-minded person. And my faith has made me hopeful, and my hope has built my courage. And if we believe in that, we will recognize that. And that's why I dealt with it. That comes back to the television matter. That's how I dealt with it. Calm. Cool. My wife is a total opposite to I. She Jacinta knows that quite well. You understand? Unlike me, it's normal. So I have lived that way. Somebody hits my vehicle. I really wouldn't have wanted the vehicle to be hit, but was my leg broken? Did I lose an arm? Am I hospitalized? No, that can be replaced. And that's how I live my life. And to me, in 2024, I know that there will be amazing things happening, and there will be challenges as well. You understand? It's an open slate. We do not know what's going to be written for the 12 months, but I am quite optimistic. I am going into 2025 hopeful, prayerful, and courageous that whatever happens in 2025, it may happen for a reason. And sometimes we don't always understand the reason, but then the reason, sometimes we see it reflected in different ways. We see it reflected in different ways. You understand? So I live that way. I have lost a brother. I have lost a sister. I lost my father. And all of them died prematurely, practically, in different situations. And those were major challenges in my life. But I have endured. I've endured, and I think I've endured for the better. The question is, how are you enduring? Are you enduring with courage, or are you enduring with defeat, with guilt, with shame, and with pessimism? And if you are, how can you change your mindset and begin to, it might be a big challenge, but for those of you who may have this negative, pessimistic view of life, how can you walk into 2024 with a different mindset?
Mhm. Yeah. Calvin, I like what you brought up about challenges, because these challenges, difficulties, shape us in a way that we may be unaware of. And I just wanted to reinforce your point. I always tell people, as it relates to me particularly and health education, which is something I started prior to being on the show. I've been on the show for 2 years now. Before I came on Health Vibes, I was doing my own show, and I also I did public health at university. So it's, health education was my passion. And I always think, what if I had not and still have health challenges myself? How would I be able to, to educate, relate? So for instance, when I started with my women's health talk show, it's because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. I've always spoken about it openly, spoken about my struggles with weight management, which is one of the big issues with that, spoken about struggles that with fertility, with that concept of not, being optimally fertile as others may be without that syndrome, and spoken about these things openly, and then at the same time changed my maybe initial mindset of years ago, which was, boy, I have a Male. I used to say that a lot. I have a Male. I have a Male, boy, unlucky, or some people that say you bad lucky, because it's challenge after challenge. I've had a lot of, for instance, joint challenges. I had surgery when I was 11 years old. I have metal in my hips. I've had a lot of different things. I cannot list all because there have been a lot. But I'm saying, if I did not experience some of these things, could I educate? Could I relate? Could I, be empathetic as I currently can be? The challenges were for a reason, that is the cause. And I think about it that way a lot. I guess it's a maturity thing as well. I think about it. So I have changed that mindset, because I honestly used to say that a lot. My friends would tell you, I have a Male. I would say that a lot. Anytime something new health-wise would occur, or I would find out something new, I would say, boy, that is a Male we I have for one person, and I have started to kind of rethink, as some taglines of certain companies say, reimagine. You kind of start to restructure your thoughts as you have greater awareness of what is the purpose. And Carlton, you mentioned something about, or the caller mentioned something about prayer and not getting what you prayed for. And I read something recently that was very instructive to me, talking about a no is not, it's sometimes it's just redirection. So it's not the no you may be getting is not a bad thing.
So definitely,
it's a redirection now to something you maybe don't even know that you would benefit from better. So you got a no, or you face this challenge, but it was actually structured to send you in a better path. A better path, but you don't know everything. You're not God. So you're saying it was destructive or devastating, but really and truly it turned out to be something that was redirecting you to something better. So I wanted to comment that on both what the caller said and what Carlton you were saying.
Good point. Let's take this caller. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you, Judy and Carlton. But I'm just reflecting when you said that you used to say that, boy, when something happens, you used to say, I have a Male. They tell you death and life happens in the power of the tongue. And sometimes we call it, we call the Male over ourselves, I'll just share that with you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank you. Confession brings manifestation, they say.
So change of thinking, change of
Yeah, and we all have changes to make. I mean, every one of us have changes to make. I have seen myself become a more assertive person. I remember as a teenager, anybody could practically do anything to me, and I would just not ever say anything. And as I became older, I became more assertive. And I felt that I do have a right.
Yeah.
And so if you've done something to me that I did not appreciate or I didn't like, I don't have to use profanities or anything like that to express myself, but I will directly and candidly approach you and tell you, no, you've disrespected me and I'm not going to tolerate it. You understand? So you grew and you become a stronger individual, more conscientious about your environment, more conscientious about your associates, and even with age and with growth, not necessarily age now, but with growth, you become even more discerning. I don't know about you, Trudy. You might go to somewhere in a seminar, whatever, and you might meet people, and you may just pick out one person that you just feel really connected with. That you have this conversation with them, and you just feel that vibe. And then you have others that
your spirit didn't take them.
That's what see.
But it's true. I mean, focusing on different aspects of your life. I mean, I always have this mentality that God doesn't give us more than we can handle. Sometimes it seems so
Huge.
and huge, and as Trudy give us her back-to-back health challenges. It happens, and it may not be health-wise for other people, maybe other aspects of their lives. But strength, endurance, seeing why this happened. You may not know the answer. Sometimes I wish that we could speak to God directly. You know, have this, even though it's once a month for 1 hour. That you could just ask God certain questions, but that's not possible. But having a close relationship, for those who do believe that there is a God, it can lead you to different paths or ways of dealing with certain situations. So it can help.
Yes, we have a few callers. Good point, Jacinta. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning to you, Judy.
Good morning to you.
I called because I think you talk a lot about the mind, and but you talked about it like in lieu of something else, and I'm not sure because you talked about faith and all of those things. They take place only in the mind, Hassan. So all you really have is your mind now. And it's the state of your mind that really reflects your life.
I agree. And I think that's what I was saying in a nutshell. Yes. Strong mind, strong man.
Yeah, I mean, all the things that you moved on to is a different state of mind,
Definitely.
So I'm just, like the physical is really, a subject of the mind, Anyway, interesting conversation.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your contribution. Yes, we have just about 4 more minutes to go as we reflect on 2023 with you. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, miss.
I wish you all a happy new year.
Thank you.
You too.
To continue to do the good job that you're doing.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. But I have a little problem. There's a young guy who mixes jazz and all kind of things, and he throws in my pathway. Sometimes all my face burns me. Is there anything that you could recommend that I put on my face when that thing happens?
Yes, you can use emollient. So you could use E45 cream. That's one of the choices that you can use, or an aqueous cream.
Okay, so I will check your.
Yes.
Pharmacy.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
And have a blessed day.
Have a good morning to you. Take care of
Bye-bye.
yourself. All right. We see we have another caller. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Yes, good morning. I've been listening to your program for morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Very, very interesting.
Thank you.
I just want to take you back to the point that you were talking about depression. I did not go too long into it, but I wanted to share my little story. Just around Maria, after we were hit and our house was trashed, our business was no more, family everywhere. I felt depression for the first time. And luckily, I did not let it settle with me. I didn't give it a resting place. But every now and then I would feel depression coming. And that is where I would like to appeal to all your listeners, as much as possible, to find a hobby. To get something I will do to occupy your mind when the depression comes, especially when depression is coming. When you feel it coming.
Well, but if I may ask you though, how do you know that you might be experiencing a relapse or an episode? How do you feel?
No, since that time, I have never felt it. I don't want to feel it ever.
Okay.
But that is how I kind of got over it. Because I have many hobbies and things that occupy my hands and my time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I would feel it coming, it's not a nice feeling at all. It's not painful. It just makes you feel so bad. It's a weird feeling that I can't really explain or express.
I understand.
But it is not, it just don't feel nice. It just don't feel well. And for me, the only way I could get it out is to occupy my mind or change my mindset. So I would get my hands busy, whether it's my gardening, whether it's my crafting, whether it's any little thing just to take your mind off yourself and focus elsewhere. And it happens. So I think I got that about 4 or 5 different times. And I think about the third time, I said, oh, that is what depression feels like. And I said, okay, well, I'll deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
I will deal with you because depression is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got busy either in my garden or just do something, anything, even if it doesn't make sense to anybody out there. But you know what you are changing your mindset. And it doesn't take, well, for me, it did not take me long for that feeling at that time to just go away. It would come another time. Every time I look at the house, so I say, but yeah, I broke free or something. You feel a little depression coming, a feeling coming.
Mm-hmm.
Find something to do. Use your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Pour clothes in your wardrobe, even if it's clean and neat, right? Just do something. Just to occupy. But I appeal to people, find a hobby. That way, if you are in a situation where depression hits you often, to change your mindset, because it worked for me, and I'm not hoping that it works for somebody else. So
Thank you so much, caller. Very encouraging words. Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that you were brave enough to share your own experience. Mm-hmm. We truly appreciate you. Mm-hmm. We have one more caller before we leave. Good morning to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Yes, morning, Mr. Carlton.
Good morning to you, sir. Good morning.
And morning to your guest, Julie and the next lady.
Good morning to you.
Carlton, I want to thank Mr. Jolly's company and you and the other people for supporting my little business with all you. For the year, I wish you well and good success. And I want you to continue doing some of the positive things you have been doing on the health, like the exercises, the education.
Yes, sir.
And I believe one of them days I'll see you build up more bigger empire in the health for the people, like something more like a hospital. And Carlton, I want to see a more local shelf and more local Dominican shelf on your drugstore. Like when you approach it, maybe one of the first aisle you could say is a shelf from Dominica products, because we have a lot of local products. Jolly self producing a lot of local products. And I just want to wish you good health for the season, Lando and your guests. Have a good day. And don't forget to tell the people they could get all the local nutmeg creams and cayenne creams for the same joint pains at Jolly Pharmacy. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you. Thank you.
All the best.
So Trudy and Jacinta, we are just about out of time. It's 11:32. it is our last parting words for the year. To all our listeners, and I know the lines are still going. People really wanted to still express themselves, but unfortunately, we are on borrowed time. But I'm going to give each of you just a few seconds to say one last thing, and then I will say it, and then we will climax.
Okay, so I guess I'll start. Yes, to our listening audience, whatever did not go your way for 2023, it is behind you. If it can still be attainable in the new year, make it happen, let it happen. Pace yourself, ask for guidance if necessary, and work with whoever has your true support, has your back. I'm wishing that whatever goals you set forward for the new year, that it will be accomplished if it is His will. Stay optimistic. There will be challenges. That's something that is inevitable. But with Carlton's words of hope and faith and love, we can achieve so many great things together. We will be here as your team in the new year, giving you all the new information, insight on many new topics. But keep the faith and just work towards being a better person for yourself and for your loved ones. All the best.
Yeah, I think Jacinta has said a lot of what I wanted to say. So I will just end with, just wishing all our listeners a very blessed 2024 when it comes around, a very productive one. And just to, as an educator, which is what I am, and what I've been for many years, if people, one thing that really warms my heart is when you teach something and then you see it in practice by those you have taught, or you see those you've taught pass it on to another set of people. So, as we do the work that we do on Health Vibes as it relates to health education, I just want to, urge our listeners to pass on, what you've learned and to really do the things that you have been taught, via our efforts on Health Vibes, and that would make this effort so worthwhile. I mean, it is a worthwhile effort, but it would make it so much more worthwhile. So I just want to wish everyone a happy and blessed and productive 2024 when it comes around, and to encourage you to continue to listen to Health Vibes right here on Q95.
All right, so it's my last term. So picture this. Picture yourself as that river that is running smoothly. And then the rain comes and it overflows its banks. It may seem rough. It may seem dangerous. It may seem threatening. But guess what? It's clearing its path. So look at your own life situation at times when the rough time comes and the seas are raging and there seems to be no light in that darkness, that there will be that moment where the light will come. It might just be your opportunity for bigger things, where you would have experienced the cleansing and the soaring. So don't give up. Never give up. In spite of, no matter how difficult it may seem, there must be a way for you. And that's what I want to leave with you. There must be a way for you. Not just there is a way for you, there must be. So you have to believe in the word must. Yes. Even when you feel like, boy, there must be a way for you. You were born because you were worthy to be born. As we leave you in 2023, it's our last final show with you until next week, which will be New Year's. We again want to express a happy New Year to you when it comes, and to always remember that your health is indeed your greatest resource. Preserve it. Have a good day, everybody. remainder of the week, and remember that you are more than you ever perceive. Have a good morning. Bye-bye.
Who say health cannot have vibes? Well, Jolly's Pharmacy is proving you otherwise. With Health Vibes, every Wednesday morning on Q95 from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Health Vibes, education, information, and a bit of humor. And not forgetting lots of vibes. Hosted by Carlton Lango with co-hosts Jacinta Fagan Defoe and Trudy Kristen. Jolly's Pharmacy is bringing health and vibes together every Wednesday, so be sure to tune in. Health Vibes every Wednesday on Q95 from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Jolly's Pharmacy, leading the way in healthcare.
Introducing Jolly's Pharmacy, brand new website, www.jollies.tm. It's your time to jump the line. Shop now at jollies.tm and have your items delivered in the comfort of your office. No more standing in line. No need to use your lunch hour to shop. Hassle-free shopping, safe and secure. Jollies.tm features rush delivery, 1 hour. In-store pickup, regular delivery, 5 p.m. Cut-off time, 4 p.m. It's your time to jump the line. Visit us at www.jollies.tm. Jollies Pharmacy, leading the way in healthcare.
The romance begins from the very first sip. Treasure the rare, inviting richness found in our light wooden notes with a hint of vanilla. This rum is aged in individually selected oak bourbon barrels to